What is up, lovers of budget cars and bikes? Welcome back to the channel. And a bit of a product review. This isn't something that's been sponsored or sent out for free to review. This is something I've decided to buy for the Ducati Multistrada 1260S. I'm hoping you've seen the videos on that, the kind of walkabout, the first impressions. This is going to be one in the series of the mods, the extras, the additional bits that we're going to add to that Multistrada. And with that in mind, I decided I wanted some crash protection of some description. We are going to fit some RNG kind of engine covers as well. That may have been done before this video, it may come afterwards, but we're going to fit a clutch cover and a water pump cover as well, because there's a little mark on the clutch cover. And it seemed the simplest thing to me that we would just simply get some RNG covers, and one, it'll protect them for the future, and two, it'll get rid of the unsightly mark. Anyway, I digress. Today we are going to talk about some crash protection in the form of crash bars. Now, I did look around everywhere for something that I thought looked nice, and the nicest looking ones I could find were from HEED. That's H-E-E-D. The downside of that for me is living in the UK, of course, you have to order them from Poland, and of course, since we left the EU via Brexit, we now have to pay import duties. Now, the price for these, I chose the ones for the Multistrada that came with the little bags that come either side, and basically the price for those I think was 168 quid, something like that. And then I got stung with a nice little bill for £46 for the import duty, 12 of which was the courier's handling charge. So not only do they get paid to bring it here, they also get paid a handling charge because they had to pay UK customs. Now, the problem with that, of course, is they're always going to declare the UK customs because they get to this £12 handling fee, whereas before it wasn't really an issue. Sometimes they'd arrive. I mean, I used to order Chinese mobile phones, and sometimes you'd pay import, most of the time you didn't. 98% of the time you never did. But now, of course, they're making money out of declaring it. So all the courier companies are saying, yep, it came from Poland, we've handled it, where's our 12 quid? So they're making extra money. Hope that makes sense, but it's a pain in the bum and it annoys the hell out of me. So be aware, if you order these from Poland via HEED, you will pay some import tax, and it will be about 46 quid. So all told, this kit comes in at just over 210 quid, I think, to my door with the taxes. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get this box open and see what we actually got for our 200 quid. So first things first, there are the bags, obviously. We'll open that up in a second and have a little look and see what they're all about. Effectively, these are just storage bags. They are waterproof as well, and I think they're padded and they fit either side of the bike. So as you look at the bike, they will probably fit somewhere like that, just connected via Velcro straps from what I recall seeing. Anyway, we'll see those as we put them on. That is the bags. You don't have to have these, but I just kind of thought for an extra tenner, why not? Because they're a lot more money to buy separately than they are as part of the kit. So we'll put those to one side for a second. And here are our crash bars for the Ducati. Okay, not massively well protected. There's no kind of foam in here, but they do seem to have this kind of rubberized foam sellotaped to them. I guess we better get these unwrapped and see exactly what we're talking about here. So there they are, and from what I gather, you have to, there's the fitting kit basically, and from what I gather, you have to remove the engine mount, the long bar that goes through the frame as it were, and you replace it with one of theirs, and then obviously everything connects via that. I could be wrong, but I did watch a couple of videos, and that seemed to be the way they were doing it. But obviously as we go back to the bike and start fitting this, everything will become far more obvious. And yes, as predicted, you open up the box and this will be your new engine mounting bar that you get for this, and not sure what that is. Obviously we need to read through all these instructions, but as I said, when we get out to the bike we will see exactly how this fits together. We're just doing a quick unboxing in the first part of this video, see what we got. Anyway, let's get the bars unpacked, see what they're all about. Okay, well, I don't want to go too far into unpacking because I'm not fitting these today. I'm just doing an unboxing right now. It'll be probably a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks even before I get to fit these. They've only just arrived, but obviously it'll be a couple of seconds for you. We will, as I said, get into this a little bit more in depth when we take it out to the bike and start offering things up, and I've had a look through the instructions. It seems to be only 3 mounting points, 1, 2 and 3. I've no idea where they mount. Well, I do know, obviously they go through the engine mount bar, which is that bit over here, but I need to read through the instructions, so I'll do that and we'll cut back in a couple of seconds when we're out by the bike and we're ready to fit these. It's time to get these HEED crash bars onto the Ducati Multistrada 1260S. It has been parked over there in its little house for the last month to 6 weeks. I've not really had a great deal of time to take it out. The weather's been pretty grody, as you'll know, this spring in 2023 down in Cornwall. But today is a okay day. So I thought, you know, being that it's Easter weekend coming up this weekend, and the forecast is for sunny skies and 14 degrees. So I'm thinking, get these crash bars on this weekend. They're just sat over there, as you can see. And this is the space I've got to work with. We are in the middle of trying to sort out the garden for spring as well. And as you can see, it's a bit of a mess, as it always is after winter. Talking of things that are a bit of a mess after winter, I didn't actually put any ACF 50 on the bike because I kind of assumed that when I got it a month, 6 weeks ago, the worst of the winter was over. Stupid, I should know better really, because, you know, I've been biking long enough. And as you can see here, this is a new chain and sprocket that they fitted to the bike prior to them delivering. Look at the state of these nuts here. I mean, that to me looks like it's been out in the bottom of a lake for the last bloody 2 years, not out here parked there for the last 6 weeks. And the chain's not looking too great. I can clean the chain up, that's not a huge issue, but I'm not entirely convinced that that is a new chain and sprocket. I'd love to know your opinion on that, guys. It just does not look like a new chain and sprocket to me, and it wasn't treated with anything maybe. It's just, how does that get that rusty in that amount of time? Anyway, I digress. We have got to get these crash bars on today because I want them on for the weekend, as I said. The only other thing I've done since the initial opening video is put this quad lock mount on here, as you can see from my phone. I'll give you an overview of how this works with my phone. Once we are up and running, I'll take the camera out, show you the phone kind of mounted here, as it will, and we are planning to use that for GPS, so I'll let you know how we get on with that, but that is not today's video. We are, as I said, going to fit these crash bars. I seem to have lost the instructions, which is pretty disastrous, but we're going to muddle through it. There's only 3 sections that need bolting in from what I can gather, one of them being here, I believe, and one underneath this panel here, which means this panel's got to come off, and the supporting bracket up behind is also got to come off. There are 2 screws from what I can remember. There's one just, oh, if we can just zip back, there's one just underneath here, and there's one just underneath here, from what I gather anyway. There are no videos to fit these Heath crash bars to a Ducati Multistrada 1260, nothing. This will be the first video on fitting these Heath crash bars onto a 1260S, so I'm hoping it's going to be of some use to you guys. So what I am planning on doing is following instructions from the 1200 DVT, the 2015 I think it was, and as I said, there's a little screw here, little screw there. I think they're Torx, and then this should, I think there's some Velcro underneath here. It'll all become apparent. I'll kind of switch you into that as we take that off. I might put you on time lapse while we just get this first one off, and then we'll get a better idea, offer up the crash bars and see where we are. But from what I gather, you fit it to the radiator mounting here, to the, maybe this one over here, is it, down here, and then to the engine support here, the engine mount, is it, where they give you an extra bar. But we'll go through all that in a minute. I'll put you on the tripod, we'll get through a time lapse video, get this first panel off, see where we are. Well, as you can see, that was an absolute piece of cake, apart from finding the right socket or Allen key to get those 2 screws out. There are the 2 screws there. I ended up trying to use these and these and these and these. I found the right one in the end. It's just my tools are a bit of a muddle here and there. But as I said, there was 1 screw just up here, 1 down there. Now we are going to have to take off this bracketry. That will be a bit easier because you can actually see the bolts. The little bolts down there, sorry, down here, are slightly enclosed into that fairing. So you need a kind of really skinny, like so basically, just this one over here. You need a very, very skinny extension on your mini socket and then get in there and do that, unless you've got a very good Allen key with a, you know, a nice long one. But we're going to get these out. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3 and 4 just over there. And then, as I saw on the DVT Multistrada when they fitted some crash bars there, there is this super strong Velcro, but it seems to have failed here anyway, so that's not a huge issue. We should be able to just pop those off, and once we get that off, we then get access to the radiator mount on this side over here. Now, it does say in the instructions, I remember, that you should only fit 1 bar at a time. In other words, you should only take out the radiator mount on one side and then put the bar in, do it back up again, then move to the other side, because if you take out both radiator mounts, the radiator will drop, basically. So just remember that. Only take out 1 radiator bolt at each side at a time, as it were. Get the crash bar in that side, do it up finger tight, I would say, and then move around to the other side and do exactly the same on that side so the radiator doesn't drop. Let's get this plastic frame that holds the fairing on off the bike, and then we'll get a better look and see what's going on. Okay, so as you can see, it's out. I did miss one out at the bottom, which is this one just here. It's got this kind of weird hexagon almost thing on the back of it. That fits on the other side of there, so effectively that's what you're looking at. There is a rubber grommet as well, so you'll just undo that, pop the grommet through, but when you put this back on, obviously you need to pop the grommet through and then put that the other side just to connect that all back up again. Very, very simple. But as you can see, the retaining panel, as it were, for the side fairing is now off, and we should be able to see somewhere up in here the retaining bolt for the radiator, which I'm assuming is that one right there. So we're going to get into there now, and then we're going to start offering things up. I'll put you back on the tripod so you'll see what I see effectively. Well, it's been about an hour for me, and it's been about 2 seconds for you guys, because I was getting super confused, because as I said in the first part of this video, I did lose the instructions. I've managed to find them, thank the Lord, because I could not work out for the life of me what was going on with this. I had to basically go back onto the eBay listing, see the orientation, try to work out where everything was going, where these bloody great big things are, and then I found these little bad boy brackets here, and I just could not work out what on earth was going on. But obviously with the instructions it makes things much easier, because as you can see, that is the radiator mount there, and you get the bracket, you bring it down and kind of a dog leg here, then that bar, which I'm assuming is this bar, then connects across like so in front of the radiator and to the other side, so that makes things nice and simple. Another big picture there as well, really simple. And also it gives you some other ideas of what you are supposed to do. There's not much in the way of actual instructions though, because this does rather come from Poland, as you can see up there. There are some instructions, as you can see there, but not a great deal. So I'm hoping this is going to be of some kind of help to you guys. We will try to get this set up, and I will try to move on with this, because it's already taken me 2 hours and I've only got one side panel off. But that is the joy of trying to fit things to your motorcycles. Half the time it takes 5 times longer than you think it's gonna. You think a van conversion's hard work? Well, maybe it's just me. Anyway, we will crack on, we'll offer these up, and we'll cut back in. I'll put you on the tripod and see how we get on with that. Okay, well, we're making some progress, guys. As you can see, there is the dog leg bracket that comes down from the radiator bolt. They do supply you with a new bolt as well, slightly longer than the one you take out, which is that one there, but it is a ball leg. I don't know if it will be the same on yours, but because of these hydraulic pipes and lines you've got here, it's hard to actually get in there. But I got it done in the end. The one thing that does concern me is the pipe actually looks like it's resting on the radiator, which isn't ideal, and the rad guard is held on with cable ties. Yeah, okay, well, you learn something new every time you start unbolting things from your bike. So we are now going to take out the engine mount bolt, which is this one over here. On the instructions, the pictures show a 1200, which doesn't really help me, but that is the engine mount bolt. So we're going to take that out and basically replace it with this bad boy here, and then do it up. But we're going to do one side at a time, as I said, because you don't want the radiator to drop down. So I'll get that bolt out and I'll offer up this left hand side crash bar, and we'll cut back in and I'll show you what it looks like. So we've got the engine mount out, as you can see. There it is there. It's basically, I think it's an M14 hex or multi-spline there with a captive nut on, well, not just a nut on the other side. It effectively goes through like so. What they advise you do is, that's the new engine mount bar there. As you can see, there's not a lot of tension on there, but they do suggest you tap out the original, as in this one, using that one so it doesn't stress the mount per se. So we've done that. It seems a hell of a lot longer than the original, I have to say, but I'm assuming that's because of these parts here. Anyway, it's in, and as you can see, it doesn't seem to have any tension per se on it, so that's nice and easy. We'll get this first side offered up now and see exactly where we should, in theory, actually now be ready to offer up the left-hand side crash bar and see exactly where we are. I'm hoping this fits after all this effort that I've put in today. So I'll put you back on the tripod and we'll try and offer this up, finally. Okay, after much faffery, we are actually getting down the road with this job. I actually tried to put that bar into the engine mount at the back. It doesn't go with the engine mount at the back, it goes in the engine mount at the front, which soon became pretty bloody obvious. We have got these little brackets at the front here now. As we come down here, they come off. I don't know if you can see those actually. Yeah, there's one each side just here, as you can see. They actually affix to the original radiator mounting points, and you just leave those nice and loose. And basically we are now going to offer up the right hand side. We've got the left hand side done as well, by the way. While I've been faffering around here, we've got the other side done. So obviously we are ready pretty much to fit these bars. We're going to start with the right hand side over here, and then we're going to basically put the bracket in to connect it all up together, collect it to this side here. The only problem I can see is there only seems to be one of these bolts to hold this, and I'm not quite sure why. So either I dropped one or I'm going to have to go and find one. Either way, we'll get it done. So put you back on the tripod and you can watch me put this together, hopefully. So, what do you think? They are on. I did manage to cock things up just slightly, as I normally do. The first thing I would say, blimey, they're wide. I didn't expect them to be quite that wide. They're almost as wide as the bloody handlebars. And I found out why I only had one nut and bolt, basically, because that actually fits, I don't know if you can see from here, that fits just in here. There we go. I'm hoping you can see that. Let's get in underneath. Maybe you can see it better there. That joins these two sections together, basically, and the bar, which I assumed goes here, actually fits just here. So effectively what you do is you take out the engine mount bolt here, you put the bar between the two sides, and you put the one nut right in the middle. And then, basically, we are now going to put everything back together. But, as I said, wide? Yeah, I would say so. They do seem to be a lot wider than I thought they would be. Yeah, okay. So far, though, so good. I think they look all right. I think it kind of sets the bike off on that kind of enduro look as well, because it's got the black screen and loads of black accents around the bike. I think this black set, as opposed to the silver set they do, is going to work much better for me. I'm hoping you agree. Let's get this back together anyway. I'm hoping this has helped you so far. All my breathlessness and favery has helped you out a little bit, but let's get this back together and then we'll see what it looks like finally when it's all done and dusted, and I'll tell you what I think of it. So it's all back together, finally. We've got the heat crash bars fitted. First thing I've noticed is what somebody else mentioned on the 1200 DVT when they fitted these, is that one side seemed slightly further out, shall we say, or one side seems slightly further in than the other. And I think it's going to be the same here. If you look here, that one there seems slightly further out than that one there. That's going to get really bloody annoying because I'm a bit OCD about that kind of stuff. If you look there, it's not too bad, but I think you can actually see it from the front as well. We'll have a little look there. Yeah, you can definitely tell, can't you? That one there on the left-hand side here is way more out than that one there. I mean, we'll literally get bang on straight in front of it, and it is. Not massively, but it is out. It's not been designed that well. I mean, I would say that's probably, I could even be a centimetre out this way compared to this side here. So, yeah, not impressed with that. The fitment was relatively easy. They look bloody awesome, I have to say. I think they look really, really nice. We'll take a look at them here as well. And one of the reasons I chose these is because they follow the line of the fairing there as well. And I just think they were far more streamlined. Fitting is easy as long as you follow the instructions and you know, you just take your time. I'm hoping this video will have helped you guys out slightly, but it's not straight. I mean, if you look at the beak here, right in the middle of the beak, and then look as we come down to the middle of that, you can see that is clearly, I mean, we're right in the middle of the beak here, and that is to the side by a good couple of mil. So that has not been designed very well at all, in my opinion. That's it's over this side too much. Now, when you're paying 200 quid, you expect to get something that looks the part. I mean, you can even see it standing here from further away. I don't know. I'd like to really properly measure these and find out exactly what's wrong. I'm assuming you could probably maybe put a spacer on this side here to bring this one out slightly to make it match. I don't know, but that's not going to fix the issue in the centre there, because it's just not straight, is it? As you can see, it's over by a couple of mil. But, you know, as I said, I'm a bit OCD about these kind of things. I'm hoping that's not going to really piss me off when it comes to sitting on the bike. I guess time will tell. I'm looking at the dash most of the time anyway. And we'll have a little look at the right side as well here. As I said, I think they look great, and they seem to be incredibly robust. I mean, you could pick up the whole bloody bike. But that is it. That is the heat crash bars for the 1260 Multistrada. There are no other videos that I know of showing you how to fit these. There is, I think, one guy who did the 1200 DVT, and he had the same problem. He did actually say he had to pay customs, and like I did, and I told you about in the first part of this video. And he also had a problem with the symmetry, as it were, as in it's over to this side here more so than this side, and that is such a shame. That's just sloppy work, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm going to drop them an email and ask them. Maybe I've done something wrong, but I don't think so. That is it. That is the heat crash bars. I really hope this has helped you guys out. It's been a right ball ache for me, if I'm honest, because I got it all asked about to it the first time around. But the only thing to really remember is you put it into this engine mount here, not that one there, and then it all becomes very simple. I mean, essentially, we're looking at 3 bolts, aren't we? Well, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts. There's obviously the replacement nuts that fit either side of here, then you've got the bar that fits there, then you've got the nut there. So it's 5 bolts and it's in and done. The faffrey is getting off these fairings, getting the radiator bolts out, that kind of stuff. That can be a bit of a pain in the bum just to get the bracketry on. But as I said, I think it looks great. We'll have another little look when I've got the bike out into the garage, or the carport as it were. I'll show you another look around the bike when it's clean as well, because it's bloody filthy. But I'm hoping that helps you guys out. Heed, I'll stick a link in the description. It's up to you what you want to do about it. I think most of us, If I'd have seen this video first, I may not have bought these. That's the brutal truth, because I would go crazy about this. They're on now. This is 200 quid. They're on. I'm not going to take them off again now. I just can't be asked. But I hope it's helped you guys out. If it has, consider subscribing. Give the video a like, a thumbs up, a share, all that kind of good stuff. We'll catch up in a couple of weeks when we continue the mods on this beautiful Ducati Multistrada 1260S. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope it helped. Take care now.